Okay, finally, we've made it to the last function, fetch item. The goal of this function is to get details about a specific item on the supply chain. First, let's create a function called fetch item. It takes in the SKU number as an argument. It is public, so that means it can be called by anyone. And since it is only looking at information but not changing anything, we can also label it as a view function type. Finally, we want to return all these details about the item. So inside the parentheses, we can set every return value along with its type. So we are returning the name, the SKU, the price, the state, the seller, and the buyer. So all this information has the type. Okay, so string, name, uint, SKU. The price is again a uint. State is whatever the state is right now, again a string. And I'll show you why I'm actually setting it a string right now, because as opposed to returning a 0 or a 1, I actually wanted to return a for sale or sold state. So I'm converting it, and I'll show you that in just a second. And then the seller is an address type, and buyer is again an address type. Okay, and now inside the function, we are creating a local uint state variable right there. Okay, and then we can set each of these values by accessing the mapping using the SKU number. Okay, now enum values can be converted to 0 or 1 and so on explicitly. So if you look at this enum value, so we're accessing the enum, okay, by state. So we're converting it into 0 or a 1. So that is how it is. So let me in fact go back and show you how enums are. So we've probably learned that in our section solidity, but if you look at, so this value, if converts to uint, will return a 0, and this will return a 1. Okay, so if you access, so this is exactly what we're doing right there. So we're accessing the mapping and then the state, and then we're converting it to uint. So either we get a 0 or a 1. Okay, now instead of returning a 0 or a 1, which could be fine, I'm actually converting the enum value to uint, and then I'm using if blocks, and if the state is 0, I'm returning a for sale value, and if the state is 1, I'm returning a sold value. So that's all I'm doing right there. Okay, so I'm saying if the state, which is the uint, it comes to be 0, means it's for sale. Remember, 0 is scrolling back, 0 means for sale, and 1 means for sold. So I'm just using simple if blocks so I can actually get some clear indication as opposed to just returning 0 and 1. And again, if the state comes to 1, I'm going to have a string, which is state is. Remember, this is returning a string. We're calling it sold. All right, finally, again, seller, again, accessing the mapping, sellers, we're just getting all of these values and we're returning them. Fantastic. Now we've got everything written out and we're ready to test out all of our code that we've been working on.